advice regarding starting your own podcast, the importance of being authentic, having a topic that you're passionate about, and also making sure you're inclusive with your audience. All things I agree with. So I want to thank you, because that is, it's good guidelines for me as a beginning podcaster to remember those things.
Yeah.
I'd like to wrap this up for today, talking a little bit about your fitness and how you got started with fitness and what you like to do and sometimes what you don't like to do and that kind of thing.
Well, thank you for part two.
No, our pleasure.
We'll have to do another episode at some point.
Oh, I'm planning on having you on a monthly basis if I can swing it. So you're going to be my monthly guest. So I hope that's okay. Yes, yes.
Fine.
And I plan to invite the other guys too. I want to talk to Mike Gulka about movies, movie trailers. Billy, I want to talk to wrestling. I mean, I've got it. I'm going to line it up with those guys.
No, Billy's definitely your guy for wrestling.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait to talk to him. I seriously can't.
So as far as the fitness stuff goes, so it was a long time ago now. It was, let me think, I'll be 40 next month. Well, in a month or so. And let me do the math. I was 20. So 15 years ago, I went in for a physical. And it came back where I've always been, like, my metabolism's always been fairly good. And so I wasn't necessarily, overly heavy, but I just felt kind of icky and just not really great. And the long short of it was I had a cholesterol of 212 and a lot of other little things that the doctor was like, well, do you exercise? And I hovered over the little box that says yes, no. And I was like, I don't do anything. Like, and that was like that cold realization of like, I could lie, but then I'm only lying to myself. And then, so I checked no, and I talked about it, and I decided then and there I wanted to start being more active. And so I chose running only because it was such a low entry thing for me. You had to buy a pair of shoes, and that's all you really needed. So I chose running. I hated it. I hated it for the first year. I hated every bit of it. I didn't like it. It was uncomfortable. It was outside of my comfort zone, and I didn't look forward to it. I forced myself to do it, kind of like what you were saying, switching your brain over to just get moving. And it wasn't like I hated running. I just hated having to exercise. I was just mad at like, this is stupid. I'd rather be sitting down. And within a year, I felt something click over in my head, where not only did I realize it as a necessary thing to do, but I also gained some enjoyment out of it. I was venting out negative stress. I was feeling good. I was absorbing the sights and smells and things around me. And I part of a community, talking to other people who were running and working out and sharing little stories. It was just a fun way I felt like a better version of myself. And so running was like my main gig for a while, up until I decided to start adding like weights and other things to my training regimen just to kind of round myself out. I didn't want to just completely run. So I added weightlifting and some calisthenics to my program, and over time just kind of fell in love with being active. I did P90X, or I did a chunk of P90X. I never actually completed the program. My wife's done it like 4 times. But the heart and soul of this is I believe in being active as a part of a healthy human life at this point.
I agree.
Yeah. As far as what I do now, as of now, most of my cardio and workouts is boxes and moving and getting things out of my house. But up until about a few weeks ago, regular running regimen, weightlifting, and also a thing called, I'm a big fan of the kettlebell exercises.
We do those in CrossFit.
Yep. I enjoy kettlebell quite a bit. I use it as a way to kind of do some cardio with weights at the same time. And I do use a Julian Michaels DVD.
That's awesome.
But I don't care. There was one, I do want to graduate up. There's a couple of other ones where they do more advanced moves with the kettlebell, but that woman tears you to pieces, I swear.
I'm curious. I'll have to see if they have any at the library, but I definitely want to think about having you and Justin on, and you can talk more about the videos, and he can talk about his fitness regimen and see where the melding of the minds come together.
Yeah, no, he and I would love to talk about our different varied workouts. He just goes. He just does. Yeah. He did the Murph, I think, recently.
The Murph is quite a workout. I did my
Yeah.
first Murph in May, and I finished in 57 minutes. Granted, I had scaled parts of the workout, but I don't think it was anywhere as bad as like I was really nervous about it. But then once you get into it, you just go, and it's putting yourself kind of in a place like I think you said it best is putting yourself in an uncomfortable place where it seems scary and it's new, but once you're in it and you're going. And it's a huge accomplishment when you finish. But I feel like every day that I can go and do exercise, that's a check in the win box that I got movement in for the day. So I definitely would love to have you and Justin on. I want to thank you for being my guest today, and I look forward to having not only you on, but having you and Justin on, and Billy, Mike Golka, all the guys when it's good for them. Any other shout outs you'd like to talk about as far as podcast, arcade, fitness, geekiness, anything else?
Not off the top of my head right now, just anybody listening, if you are looking for some, fun and lighthearted entertainment, check out one of the podcasts of the Podcast Arcade. I think you'll find something there. There's quite a few to pick from, so something there for everybody, I'm sure.
It's a great community. Thanks again to Eddie Fossler. You need to check out the Podcast Arcade and all the great shows underneath that umbrella. The guys are great. Eddie's great. And we'll look forward to having Eddie on a future episode. Thanks, Eddie.
Thank you.